Night. We saw she was given a special security escort to Court 6 last night. There were thousands of Filipinos who tried to get a glimpse of the star on Court 6. Hundreds didn't manage to get in. They were, in fact, quite rowdy at times, told to be...
Alex Eala, the Filipino tennis star, has just received an extraordinary invitation back to Australia. Not from tournament organisers, not from the WTA, but from Australia's president himself. And this isn't just another exhibition match in Melbourne. It's a powerful statement about respect, global influence, and the undeniable force of fan support. Let's rewind. When Eala arrived in Australia for the Australian Open, something remarkable happened. Melbourne turned into a sea of Filipino pride. Thousands of fans showed up waving flags, chanting her name, and transforming the atmosphere into something electric. It wasn't just support, it was a movement. But there was one major problem. The stadium couldn't contain it. Seats filled up fast. The venue reached full capacity. And heartbreakingly, thousands of devoted Eala supporters were left outside, unable to witness their tennis hero compete live. That moment didn't go unnoticed. Fast forward to now. Recognizing the overwhelming turnout and the incredible impact Alex Eala had during the Australian Open, Australia's president decided to step in. He personally invited her back to Melbourne for a special exhibition match ahead of her next tournament, ensuring fans would finally get the opportunity they missed. This wasn't a routine scheduling decision. It wasn't a standard promotional move. It was a direct response to the people, a gesture of respect, a recognition of star power.
We saw the record broken for the first Tuesday, set at about 58,000 back in 2020. That has now been broken today, set at about 61,000. So as you can see, just another ripper start to the Australian.
And once again, history repeated itself. Thousands of Alex Eala supporters flooded the streets of Melbourne, waving Filipino flags and chanting her name, all hoping to catch even a glimpse of their tennis icon. The atmosphere was electric. You could feel the energy in the air. It wasn't just a match day, it felt like a national celebration, but just like before, the demand was overwhelming. Despite expanded arrangements and tighter planning, the stadium reached full capacity yet again. Thousands of fans were left outside, unable to get in. The hunger to watch Alex Eala compete live is simply that enormous. Because of the massive crowds, Australian authorities provided government security and escorted Eala safely to the venue. No risks were taken. The scale of support required serious organisation, and when she finally stepped onto the court, she delivered brilliant rallies, confident shot-making, big match composure, and of course, that signature smile that has won hearts across the globe. The crowd erupted. Every point felt amplified. It was a show worthy of the moment. But here's where things start to get interesting and a little controversial. Reports suggest that Sabalenka, the current world #1 on the WTA Tour, isn't thrilled about the situation. After all, here's Australia's president organising a special exhibition match for Alex Eala, complete with presidential recognition and government-level security, while Sabalenka, despite being the top-ranked player in the world, hasn't received similar treatment. To be clear, Sabalenka is an extraordinary competitor. She earned her #1 ranking through relentless work, elite performances, and championship-level consistency. She absolutely deserves respect for what she's achieved. But what's happening with Eala is different. This isn't about rankings, it's about connection, it's about cultural pride, it's about representing something bigger than the sport itself. Eala may not be in the top 10 yet, she's currently ranked number 40 on the WTA chart, which is actually 9 spots higher than where she stood during the Australian Open. But numbers don't capture impact. What makes Alex Eala special is the powerful bond she shares with her fans, especially the Filipino community, one of the most passionate and united fan bases in global sports. For them, she's more than a tennis player, she's hope, she's inspiration.
Got a lot of global stardom to her. She's had some incredible results and she's beaten players like Madison Keys and Iga Swiatek, so she's the real deal, already top 50 in the world.
And through all of this attention, Alex Eala has handled the spotlight with remarkable grace. Despite the massive crowds, the presidential invitation, and the global headlines, she has remained humble. In every interview, she's expressed nothing but gratitude for the overwhelming support she's receiving. For Eala, this moment isn't just about personal success, it's about representing something much bigger. She knows she's carrying the hopes of millions of Filipinos around the world. To them, she isn't just a rising tennis star, she's a symbol of possibility, pride, and national identity. And she embraces that responsibility with maturity far beyond her years. But what truly sparked this presidential-level response? That's where things took a dramatic turn. Novak Djokovic, widely regarded as one of the greatest players in tennis history, publicly criticized the WTA over how Alex Eala was handled during the Australian Open. His comments brought global attention to the situation, questioning whether the organization properly anticipated or respected the sheer scale of support surrounding her. When a legend like Djokovic speaks out, the tennis world listens. His remarks amplified what many fans were already saying, that Eala's presence in Australia wasn't just another player appearance, it was a cultural phenomenon that deserved better planning and recognition. And from there, the story escalated beyond tennis.
It happened. I mean, you could argue that it was, maybe a poor schedule and maybe they could schedule him on a bigger court. Yes, but again, she's Alex Eala, that's been a talk, and which is understandable. There's some players coming from respective countries, like she's coming from Philippines, which is now a big deal. She's been the biggest ever, tennis player from that country, which is a big country. And
think about what Novak Djokovic was really saying. His argument wasn't emotional, it was professional. In tennis, environment matters. The size of the court, the energy of the crowd, the lighting, the surface, the atmosphere. In high-pressure moments like a Grand Slam, these details can shape performance. When a player who draws thousands of passionate supporters is placed on a smaller court where most of her fans can't even get inside, that's not an ideal competitive setup. Djokovic's criticism struck a nerve. It sparked debate across the tennis world. Why would the WTA schedule one of its fastest rising and most crowd-drawing players in a setting that couldn't accommodate her support? Why not anticipate the turnout? Why not adjust? And apparently, those questions reached beyond tennis circles. Seeing the disappointment among Alex Eala's fans after the Australian Open, thousands who travelled long distances only to watch from outside Australia's president stepped in. He brought Eala back to Melbourne, organised a special exhibition match, and ensured she had a proper stage to perform for her supporters. But here's what makes this story extraordinary. Even with a specially organised event, even with presidential backing, the stadium still couldn't fit everyone. Thousands were once again left outside. That tells you everything about how quickly Eala's popularity is growing. This isn't ordinary support. It's rare. It transcends rankings. It goes beyond wins and losses. This is the kind of connection that turns athletes into icons. Eala is becoming more than a tennis player. She's becoming a symbol of Filipino pride and excellence on the global stage, something no ranking system can fully measure. And yet, the rankings are improving too. Since the Australian Open, she has climbed steadily, moving from outside the top 50 to around number 40 in the world. That's real progress. It shows she's not just a cultural phenomenon, she's evolving into a serious competitor on the WTA tour. What this entire situation exposes is a subtle disconnect. The WTA operates on rankings, seedings, and structured scheduling, which makes sense competitively. But when a player generates massive crowds, global buzz, and emotional investment that elevates the entire sport, perhaps there needs to be flexibility. The Australian president seemed to understand that. He recognized an opportunity: celebrate a rising star, respect her fanbase, and give the people what they were clearly asking for. If Aryna Sabalenka feels overlooked, that reaction is understandable from a competitive standpoint. She's earned her #1 ranking through extraordinary performance. But this situation isn't about diminishing her achievements, it's about acknowledging that tennis ultimately belongs to the fans. And when fans speak this loudly, when they fill streets, pack arenas, and travel across countries, it's worth listening. Alex Eala's journey is only beginning. Ranked around 40th and climbing, backed by one of the most passionate fan bases in the sport, and with legends like Djokovic advocating for fair treatment, her future looks incredibly bright. The president's decision to bring her back to Melbourne wasn't just a gesture, it was recognition. Recognition that something special is unfolding. Recognition that impact isn't measured only in rankings. Recognition that connection matters. We may be witnessing the start of a new chapter in tennis, one where cultural influence, fan devotion, and global resonance stand alongside trophies and seedings.